work is it you do, sir?
So I work at the University of York. Okay, I've worked there for 12 years.
Which university? York, St.
I
John's?
just said the University of York.
Well, there's two universities in York.
I said the University of York, all right? Because there's the University of York or there's York St. John.
Right.
Okay, I've said the right one.
Okay. So why haven't you come up to an arrangement where you can stop on their property, which would be the ideal solution?
I know it would be, okay, but the thing is that it is a private place, and I have been in the first lockdown, I was on my mother's driveway.
Yeah, which is where you
Because back then the lockdown was the way it was, nobody really knew what was happening, etc. And work closed, work shut down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had no choice, so that was fine. I'm a technician there. Okay, I have got a letter which proves that I can still work.
I don't need to do that.
Okay, well anyway, there is a letter here. Okay, so we're not locked down. I can still work, and I've had this letter, and I had this for the second lockdown as well. Now, during the second lockdown, I did arrange with security, and I said, would you mind if I parked on the Sports Village car park? Okay,
yeah.
This was done by a phone call, and in the 4 weeks that I was there, I had nothing but abuse. People throwing stuff at my van, people coming into the car park that, as you say, shouldn't be travelling, but quite clearly were. And in the end, I moved on, because even when I phoned up security and reported the fact that they've got people breaking in and playing football, no one did anything about it. And I said, well, why don't you get the police? They said, well, the police won't do anything about it either. So I'm trying to stay in a place to keep myself safe and to keep myself isolated, and I'm being harassed and no one's supporting me. So what I've done in this last lockdown, which has been quite frankly a nightmare, has just gone from lay-by to lay-by to lay-by. But that's all I can do.
Right.
Okay.
I'm making it very clear to you now. We work out on the 4 E's, okay? So the first E is engagement, that's me talking to you.
Yes.
The second part of that E is explaining to you what you're doing wrong. So that's what I'm doing now. You cannot go from lay-by to lay-by to lay-by. I appreciate the situation that you're in, but you need to pick one spot and stop there till we come out of this lockdown.
Okay, well, sorry, okay, carry on. Yeah.
The third part of that is encouraging you to do so. So that's what I'm doing you now, what I'm saying to you now, that's what you need to do.
Okay.
And hopefully you get compliance at that. If we don't, then we move on to the enforcement, which is the fining, which nobody wants to do because you can't fine your way out of a pandemic.
No.
What we rely on is people being sensible and doing the right thing. I'm turning around and telling you now that what you're doing is going from location to location is wrong. What we have been told to do from people like yourselves, and we have lots of people who live in vans come here, who live in Vanlife, so you're not the first person that I've got
no, I'm sure. Yeah.
What you should be doing is stopping where your vehicle is registered, because there's all kinds of things that go on in that. If you're living and working and sleeping in York and your vehicle is registered and insured to Essex, the chances are your insurance will be invalid, because you'll somewhere on your insurance will turn around and say, where's your vehicle kept overnight? So you'll need to check in on that. So that part of what we've been doing is turning around to people and saying is that you need to be where your vehicle is registered. I've listened to what you're saying, that you're living in York, but what you need to do is you need to be in York at one place and not just constantly.
Okay, but there's nowhere for me to go.
You could quite happily go and stop in the other car park near the security office at York University. I'm sure they'd let you stop there.
Well, I can ask them, but you know, I have been given a lot of grief all over, and you know, and
people are looking at you. People without knowing your situation will look at you and assume that you're overnight camping and therefore breaking.
But you know, the thing is that at the end of the day, the reason why I go to lay-bys, and I have been to lay-bys before, and by the way, I have been stopped by police before, and they have told me that I'm okay. To be in a lay-by is not a problem. Okay, the reason why I go into lay-bys is because, you know, I am sort of deliberately stealth. So what I try to do is I park up amongst the juggernauts, etc., etc. So I feel at least I've got some people around me, and the fact that it's slightly more public and it's not like somewhere like this where you're going to get doggers, etc., or people that are breaking the law by going out at lockdown quite clearly, going for walks, etc. I mean, I've witnessed this all the time. I live on the street and I've witnessed thousands upon thousands of people, and nothing's being done about it.
Well,
and all I'm
is,
trying to do, all I'm trying to do is, I know, but all I'm trying to do is just keep myself out,
Right, so
and it's really hard because I have nowhere to go.
And if you're unhappy about sleeping in your van, I'm sure with your technician's job, there's plenty of opportunities that you could get to private rent.
I used to. I choose to do this because I'm trying to save for a deposit.
Right.
Do you know what?
This is your lifestyle choice.
You know, I know.
So you need to do what is the right thing.
Exactly. The right thing for me to do is to try and find a place, but I can't find a place. Right. I've got to be close to work. Okay. I can't work remotely like every other choffer in the country. I can't do that. I have to be at work because of the nature of my work.
As I turned around and said to you, there are plenty other places that you could stop in around York than travelling 30 miles out of York to come up here. There is no reason for that journey, is there?
Yeah, other than the fact that I've actually had a really nice sleep until you woke me up. I've had no bother.
I'm pretty sure that the magistrates would turn around and say the reason for you not having a fine is that you had a good night's sleep.
No, I honestly came here because I just wanted some peace and quiet. I honestly did.
There's
Okay.
2 things. A, you're not allowed to do it.
Right.
It's breach of COVID. It's a non-essential journey for 1. 2, it's overnight camping, which you're not allowed to do, which is a second breach of COVID-19. And thirdly, when you pull into this car park, there's a great big massive sign from National Forest that says no overnight camping.
Okay, well, I missed that, honestly missed that. Okay, I came in here, it was dark last night. Also, because I've parked here before and stayed overnight here before, that's why I just assumed it was okay. And when I've come up here before, I've always seen loads of motorhomes everywhere. I mean, there was a car over there last night when I came in as well, quite clearly getting up to some mischief. But you seem to be okay letting him stay here or whatever, so he's gone now. But yeah, so that was an honest mistake.
Just 1 minute. Seems that you're going on with the sarcastic things again. I'm on a day shift today.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been at work last night, would I? And if I had been up here and there was something going on, I would have dealt with it.
Okay, well,
so please keep your sarcasm.
Okay, well, that's fine then. Okay.
It's not needed, is it?
All right, well, then maybe the officer that was on duty last night maybe could have checked.
Perhaps there were officers up here last night. And if they had been up here last night, they would have probably given you a ticket.
Okay. Well,
so you need to move on from here.
Okay, no problem. Well, you need to give me some time because obviously I need to get dressed and just sort of get my van sorted.
That's fine. So you need to move on from here. We'll be putting this on our system.
Okay.
So you consider now that you have had your 3 E's. If you're found parked up again where you shouldn't be, then it will be moving straight onto the enforcement, sir.
Okay.
All right.
And whereabouts is that just in this area? Am I not allowed to come to Scarborough area or Pickering?
No, absolutely not. That is not a necessary journey. You are in and around York. That is where you should be.
Yes.
If you work in York,
yes,
you need to park up in York. And my suggestion would be is to go and park up in the car park near the security officers at the back there, just off the road that runs down, and stay there.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do. You know, honestly, I have tried. And she said,
have you been to any other campsites?
No campsites are open.
Yes, they are, sir.
Well, okay, can you tell me where they are, honestly? Because I use a thing called pitchup.com. When I went to book there, because I normally go on a weekend, every single one of them's closed. And not only that, they're all taking a piss because they're all charging the same prices but not offering showers, not offering toilets. So they're having a bit of a laugh on the expense of people.
So you do know that you can do it then?
No, this was before this first lockdown.
I'm quite happy telling you that we have come across people who have been on campsites who have got permission, who are classed as essential workers.
Okay.
Which you would probably fall into that category.
Okay.
So you could stop at a caravan site if you wanted.
Okay.
In and around you.
So what? How do I do that? Do I just have to phone every single one to see if they would let me do that? I don't know. And how much would I have to pay?
How could I possibly?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you because you've obviously come across these people before. That's why.
How would I know the answer to how much you'd be paying?
Well, I don't know. It was a rhetorical question. You might say, "Oh, actually, no, I did know a place, and it's only like a tenner a night or something."
No, I don't.
Okay, right. Okay, that's far enough.
So there's your options.
Okay, well,
speak to security at York and see if you can stop near their car park. That would give you a little bit more peace of mind, I should imagine. And if that's not an option for you, you can look at a campsite. And if that's not an option for you, you can look at getting a private rent B&B.
Well, yeah, I can't really do that because that negates the whole reason for me living in the van. I'm trying to save up for a deposit for a house, ironically, but I can't do that whilst paying rent. So the choice of lifestyle is, you know, to somewhat pressured on me in order to live normally like you guys.
No, it's your lifestyle choice, I'm afraid to say, but
it's not. Well, it's
unfortunately, like I say, I've told you what you needed to
okay,
do.
no problem, sir.
We'll
okay,
record that down. And
yeah.
If you're not in a certified campsite or on some private ground which you've got permission to be there, then I'm afraid you'll end up getting a fine, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Which I'm sure a bed and breakfast would be an awful lot cheaper.
Yeah, okay then.
Alright then.
Alright, thank you very much. Cheers, bye.